For UFC fans, Conor McGregor versus George St. Pierre. This is a beginner-friendly kata, especially for UFC MMA fans, though that's not a requirement. It's a fight between the two legends, Conor and George. In Madison Square Garden, only one fighter will remain standing, and after the fight, in an interview with Joe Rogan, the winner will make his legendary statement. It's your job to return the right statement depending on the winner. If the winner is George, say, "I am not impressed by your performance." If the winner is Conor McGregor, he will most undoubtedly say, "I'd like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody." Good luck. So yeah, not too interesting of a challenge compared to what we've done previously. It's kind of a basic if-else thing going on there. We can make this interesting though by looking at the various ways that string comparisons can be done. But before that, of course, you should definitely pause and come up with your own solution. Resume when you're ready. So we'll get into it. We can start with something that might be the most obvious way. Let's say if fighter is equal to a string like, I'll type it out exactly how they had it, and then we'll return his statement. And you could certainly make constant variables to hold these values. That would be more useful if we were going to use them a number of times. I am not impressed by your performance, period. And then you got something similar going on with Conor, right? I'd like to take this chance to... Oh. We know how case-sensitive string comparisons are, so we'll have to get it just right there. 2 periods to absolutely nobody screamed in caps. There. We'll see. If I typed it wrong, we'll get an error. And then I'd like to do something at the end just to make sure. Imagine someone passed in Khabib Nurmagomedov. You know, you wouldn't want to return one of these. And that would happen if you just said something like, if fighter equals George, do this, else do this. Then it would hit for any fighter outside of George, or if you spelled George's name wrong. So we'll just do something like kind of a little safety net. Maybe you'd throw an exception here in real life. Return unrecognized or unexpected fighter. I'll just drop whatever value they passed in. We've used this $ before. It allows you to access variables within your print statement there, within your string I should say. So you just gotta enclose them in these braces. Another way you'll see people do it is string format. But with this one, you have to use number indexing, so you do something like this. I like the first way a little bit better. I think that came in C#6, if I remember right. So as long as you're newer than that, you should be good. But yeah, same kind of thing going on. So yeah, you could do something like this. I'll show you one possible shortcoming with this approach. So let's see, are they going to show us the test that failed? So we basically hit an error because George St. Pierre wasn't matched. Well, why wasn't it matched? Look at how the test passed the input in. Uh-oh. It was all lowercase. So it's like, oh, what do? How do I know if the user's gonna capitalize, lowercase, you know, if they spell his name wrong like it even should have been, I believe that's how he spells his name. So one thing you could do is just make the string that you're looking for all lowercase, or all uppercase. I'll use the lower one, and then you could just say to lower. It'd be one way. So whatever you get passed in, you're converting it to all lowercase letters and comparing against lowercase letters. So that's one way to get around some casing stuff that you'll see people do, but there are other ways to compare strings. So we'll do something else here. I'll keep the McGregor, but check this out. We've got, in the string class, we've got this compare method that allows you to pass two strings, and it can take this comparison enumeration that we'll see down here. We're going to basically be able to leverage that to say, hey, just ignore the case. We don't care about the case. You know, someone could alternate capitals every other letter and it wouldn't matter. Note that this one returns an integer value, and it will be 0 if the strings are equivalent. Otherwise, you know, it kind of gives you a clue for sorting here. Less than 0 if string A comes first in the sort order, or greater than 0 in the other case. So if we're going to use this, I should show you the string comparison enumeration. Here you go. We got some ignore case stuff. I'll use this ordinal ignore case. You're free to read about all these. Ignoring the case of the strings being compared. So that should work. So let's say string compare. Let's say fighter Conor McGregor. Note I'll leave the capital letters, even though that would have blown up. It would blow up with lowercase input. And then we could say string comparison, remember, ordinal ignore case. So I think this should cover us. Let's try that. Oh, looks like I missed a parentheses, a closing one. Yeah. Yep, this enclosed the compare function. This one encloses the conditional case. So yeah. Line 10. Can I? Oh, sure. I didn't even take my own advice. We said that returns an integer, and if it's equal to 0, then that means that there's a match. I'd like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody. Did I type out the message wrong? I'd like to take this. Oh, I sure did. Put this change. Maybe you were yelling at the screen while I did that. I'd like to take this chance to apologize. Let's try that. There we go, that looks better. And so we can run the larger collection. Hopefully we're still good. Yeah, I suppose we could take a look at one other way. Note that the string has an equals method with it. Let's go check that one out. String, so this is string comparison. I'll go back to the string class. And then we were on compare, but we also have equals. And we'll use this, two strings and that same string comparison object. We could do it like that. I suppose this one works the same, or we just have to provide the other value. Let's see, where'd they write it in here? Where is, and maybe it's going off the, oh, instance char equals, oh come on, you gotta have a better example than that. String AB. I think with this one, we can call it equals. So let's do it like this: fighter equals the string we want to compare. And just to show that, I'll go back to the original capital way, which we know would be an error normally. And then I'm going to copy this comparison option. Oops, whoa, wrong place. Something like this, but of course we need the closing parenthesis. Let's see, fighter, so string equals some other string, and then any kind of comparison option you want. And I'll try running it that way. So yeah, there's another way to do it. Notice it worked with the all capitalized letters. We know that blows up before, but because we said ignore case, it was okay here. So there were a few different ways to handle it. I'll probably fire this solution off and see what other people did. Looks good. So yeah, see, this is okay, but it's like, what if the fighter doesn't match Conor McGregor? You know, what if it's John Bones Jones? You know, then he's gonna say Rush's line here. You know, that's why I don't like that. I get it, these one-line Wallies, they want to get everything on one line, but sometimes it comes at a cost. Same thing again, they're just checking if it's not Conor, then they're giving out Rush's statement there. Same mistake, but they favored George St. Pierre over Conor, which is reasonable. Conor hasn't been quite the same since coming back. See, I like this better. I don't know. You know, they covered the case that it's neither of these fighters. But yeah, let me know what you came up with if you have any questions. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video. Thanks.